What's up YouTube, this is PIZZSCN here, and welcome to the first video that is going to be coming from my grandma's house. Well, actually this is technically the third video because I did shoot one a while ago and the last video I uploaded was technically shot here too. So I do want to go ahead and apologize to you guys that I haven't really been making a whole lot of videos lately. The schedule that I have to shoot videos is a little bit weird, so I do want to go ahead and apologize for that. So anyways, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead, let's just jump into this video. Alright, so this is a cubing video, and what I'm going to be showing you guys is something called a Square-1. Alright, let's go ahead and jump in. So, here we go. This is the Square-1 that I have purchased. I actually received this last Thursday, and I've had it since. So here's the box it comes in. This is an mf8 brand Square-1. Alright, and if you take a close look at this, this seems to be the same box that they use for the Super Square-1, which blows my mind. If the Super Square-1 is this small, wow. I mean, there's even an idea of what the Super Square-1 looks like. Alright, and then on this side, that's the Square-1, which is what I have. So that's pretty ridiculous. That would be insane. Now, you know you're going to get a quality product when your product is endorsed by the China Cube Club. Obviously, that is a very important marking to have on any product. So, if you buy something and it's not endorsed by the China Cube Club, take it back because it's not going to be any good at all. So, anyway, you can see there's the website, www.mf8. Well, you can see that. There's your Super Square-1. There's the mf8 logo right there, and I do not know what that means right there, so sorry. And there we've got the Square-1. Now on the top it says we have a legend 3x3 cube and a big sticker which is in the way of a picture of what I believe is a regular 3x3 Rubik's Cube. And the bottom, which gives us a sad onion and a recycling symbol. Warning! Avoiding to put any parts into mouth or choke on. And don't dismantle cube by force. Those are very, very important to make sure you follow those rules very, very carefully. So yeah, that is the packaging. Very simple. This is actually the exact same style box. In fact, it even has the same warnings on it that my Zanchi came in. My Zanchi had a very similar box to this with the same warnings again. So there you go. Just something I thought was kind of interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's jump in and open this up. So I actually find that these boxes are a lot easier to open from the bottom. So let's go ahead and crack into the bottom and see what we get. You'll see we do get the cube, which is right here, and we also get this nice pink stand, which is very nice. It's sort of a very, very almost Pepto-Bismol color, so there you go if you want a good color representation of that. But anyways, let's set that off to the side and check out the Square-1. Now, right away, especially those of you who aren't really into cubing, you're just watching this video because I uploaded it and you're curious, you might be thinking, how the flipping heck does that work? That looks very interesting. Well, we'll get on to that. Now, I do want to go ahead and give you guys a few quick disclaimers. First of all, you may have already noticed, but I do have a little bit of a cold, a little bit of a stuffy nose, so I might sound a little bit funny in this video. Second of all, this is my first ever Square-1. I've actually been wanting a Square-1 ever since like 2008, and I never really got myself one until now. So this is the only one that I have to really talk about. And thirdly, I actually don't know how to solve the Square-1. I just don't. I know how to do sort of the first few steps, but after that I am completely lost, and I'm still trying to figure out how certain algorithms work and how to create certain algorithms for it, but yeah, I don't know how to solve this thing. The only reason why it's solved right now is because, for the sake of this video, I took it apart and put it together in the solved state, so that way it looks pretty. So there is that. So let's go ahead, let's check out the design of this puzzle. First of all, give you a size reference. It is exactly the same size as your standard 3x3. This is a Zanchi. Alright, and here I have a Rubik's brand, just in case you don't believe me. It is the exact same size. Actually, it is a touch smaller, probably a millimeter at best. But that's minor, very, very minor. In fact, I didn't even notice that until today. So now if you take a look, the white and yellow sides have this interesting sort of cross pattern on it. Almost looks like an iron cross, but perfectly square. And then if you look at the green and blue sides, got the three pieces here and a perfectly elongated center that spans across the entire face. And on this side, we actually have a similar design, except for the fact that the center bar has been split into two smaller bars, this one being a little bit longer than this one. All right, and that is your design. So you might be wondering to yourself, how the flipping heck does this thing operate? These two faces here, the white and yellow, obviously will spin kind of like a normal Rubik's Cube. All right, so there is that. It's a little bit clunky, but you can also spin it along this line, and that will get you an effect like this. So you can also spin it across the two halves there, which, as you can see, will result in some very interesting shapes. This is a puzzle that can shapeshift. So, yeah, not only do you have to worry about solving the thing, you also have to worry about getting it back into the cube form whenever you want to perform an algorithm or something. So that is a thing to keep in mind as well. So what you do in order to scramble this thing, basically you can go ahead and start by twisting some of these up here, and then you just give this a turn. You can't like turn it like that, because when you do that, you can't really move anything. You have to give it a full 180 spin each time. And then you line up, let's say we line up this line right there. You come under here, yeah, we'll twist that. Let's go ahead and twist it along there. And you can see that you do get some interesting shapes as you continue along with this. I'm going to see if I can put it back into the solve state, though, because I don't know how to solve it, really. Now, I will be giving you guys a scramble later on in this video, but I do want to quickly come on here and tell you guys about some things that I don't particularly like about this particular Square-1, which specifically is the mf8 Square-1 version 2. Which means it's the second version. So the only really major problem I have with it, aside from these being a little bit stiff, although that could be a product of me trying to adjust the tensions in order to prevent what I'm about to tell you, this thing has a very simple mechanism in it. If I go ahead and I take an edge, one of these little pieces here, you can actually take them and pop them straight out like that. All right, they come out very, very easily. You can see that's what that looks like. And if you take a look at that, you'll see it's almost sort of in the shape of a ball. All right, this is what is referred to as a ball core. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pop out a few more of these edge pieces. I can show you a corner piece. I think I need to pop out one more of these. There we go. So there's what a corner looks like. All right, so there's that. In fact, let me just go ahead and show you. You take this thing completely apart. That's what the ball core sort of looks like. And actually, this is a remarkably simple, it's almost like it shouldn't be this simple just because of the fact that it can turn in so many various ways. But really, all this thing is, if I take all these out, these pieces simply are interacting with this very, very simple central mechanism, which is, all it is just two halves that spin like this. That's literally all that is. And then you just got these pieces here to interact with it. So it is a really, really simple cube for something that can shapeshift and is really, really difficult to solve. So yeah, I'm actually kind of blown away as to how simple this particular design is. But this does have a few issues, this particular design. Now, the problem that this very simple mechanism will give us is that, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to give you like a proper demonstration here, but sometimes when you're turning this puzzle and you're mixing it up, even if you're like me and you're turning it as precisely as possible, you're lining it up and then you're giving it the turn, it pops. And again, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to happen during this video, but trust me, everybody will tell you that this thing pops a lot. All right? And my main concern with this is that, let's say that I'm scrambling this thing, which I'll go ahead and start doing right now. So I'll go and give you guys a scramble example. So let's go and do that. So I'm scrambling this. All right, and let's say that we get a pop right here. Let's say that this green one pops out. Now, oh no, the green popped out, but I didn't realize it. And I'm still like turning this thing. Suddenly, it kind of looks like the green could have gone here. You know what I mean? So let's say I decide, oh, I need to put this green one back right there. Well, actually, I don't think it can go there. Oh yeah, I can. Now again, like I say, I do not know how to solve the Square-1. So to me, all I've done is just put the piece back where it belongs. When in reality, it actually went between these two pieces. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, if you take a Rubik's 3x3 and you take out and switch two edges like this, all right, this cube is now unsolvable. There is no way you can switch just two edges by turning it. You know what I mean? In order to switch two edges, you also have to swap two corners. So this is completely unsolvable. I don't know if this is now unsolvable too, because I technically switched an edge and put it in a different spot. I don't know if this has been rendered unsolvable or not. So that's my biggest concern. I would look it up, but I'm trying to not look up any tutorials on how to do this because I want this to be a puzzle that I figure out how to solve on my own. So yeah, that is a big concern of mine. Plus, even if that isn't the case, let's say that this thing is actually pretty forgiving when it comes to fixing pops like that. It's still pretty annoying that it pop when it does pop. You know what I mean? It's just sort of an inconvenience that I don't like. So there you go. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up. I'm not really going to solve it or anything because obviously I don't know how to solve it, but I do want to show you guys kind of what it looks like when it's really, really well mixed up. So bring this over here, bring that down there. Now, as you guys can see, it is already changing shapes quite a lot. Now, something else that's interesting to note is that we have this straight line here, so it looks like you should be able to turn that, but you can't because this is actually an angled line. Do you see that? There's not a straight line there, so I'm going to have to actually realign this and turn it along that. Now I can spin that. So that's something else that takes a little bit of getting used to. I'm basically used to it. You just kind of have to check both sides, and when you're giving this thing a good scramble and a good sort of mix up, trying to figure out how to get it solved and whatnot. So yeah. Would I recommend you get the mf8 Square-1? Well, no, not really. I thought that the mf8 was probably going to be better because I've heard about mf8 before and it just seemed like it was a good company. The Cube Twist is a company that I've actually never heard of. Cube Twist is the other one that came up when I looked this up on Amazon. I'd never heard of that company, and for whatever reason on Amazon, those reviews were they weren't that great on Amazon from what I saw. So I didn't get that one, but everybody will tell you that the Cube Twist one is actually the better buy because it is a lot more stable. It actually has a better mechanism than this one does. It's not a ball core. It actually works kind of on a rail system almost, and because of that, it doesn't pop nearly at all, and it just feels a lot more solid and a lot more better built. And of course, one of the other things about this puzzle is that it's actually really hard to scramble. Sometimes I can scramble it well, most of the time I can't. That's the thing. I can't really figure out why. Let's see, I'm gonna... most of this video is me scrambling. Good lord. Let's see, come on. You know what? Forget it. It's in the cube. It's back to the cube form. But this thing does really shapeshift quite well. And it's... yeah, so... there you guys go. That's going to do it for the Square-1. Once I figure out how to solve it, I will come back on and do like a solve video for you guys. Right now, it's just something that I have because it's kind of fun having a twisty puzzle that I am still stumped by. I remember when I first got the Rubik's Cube, you know, it was, again, kind of mysterious. I didn't know how to solve it, but one day I decided to look up how to solve it on the internet, and yeah, I can solve it, and people are impressed by it, but it's not, it's kind of lost some of that mystery, you know what I mean? I mean, it's lost all the mystery. I know completely and totally how to solve this thing, and it's just... I mean, it's fun. It's fun to solve, but not really. So, yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Whoops. I'm going to have to pick that up. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys were able to put up with my cold. And, yeah, so thank you so very much for watching, guys, and adios.